Live from the 15 Minutes of Fame studios, 39th and Broadway, in the heart of Bayonne, New Jersey, because we couldn't afford a spot in Manhattan. Welcome to the Shut Up and Talk Show. Give it up for your host, me, motherfuckers. Let's go.
All right, yo, welcome back to the Shut Up and Talk Show, my guy, E. Beasley. Go ahead, do it.
Sunday, March the 19th, Kings versus Queens 4. Not 2, this is the 4th one.
Facts. And all of them been incredible.
We moving, Uncle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that's crazy that we create these different like marquee brands under the URL umbrella and you move up the ladder so quickly to 4. That shit is amazing, man. I'm so proud of
What is
Kings
Summer
versus
Madness
Queens.
what now?
13, 14.
Known,
shit,
12 or 13.
Same shit. It's crazy. Those two events started at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But this is going to be a crazy event. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to Babs. Shout out to Debo. Shout out to Queen of the Ring. You know what I mean? A lot of these ladies emerged from Queen of the Ring. So, you know, shout out to them. You know, it's always a pleasure to have them a part of the event. So Babs will be there, hosting with Smack. It's going to be crazy.
We're going to have some shit talking again, because every Kings versus Queens
gotta
is
have
always
it.
the Queen of the Ring versus
Hold up! You
URL.
know, she come out, hold up! We gonna bust your ass! You know how Babs is, so it's always fun, you know what I'm saying, to see them. So yeah, shout out to them.
I want to talk about the app.
Okay.
A few things about the app. First, $7.99 per month.
Yes.
Why not $1.99?
Why not
Why
$7.99?
$7.99?
You know
Why
how
not
much?
$1.99? Why not 99 cents?
Do you know
Why
how?
like $2.99?
Yeah, I would love for it to be that cheap, but
Tell
do you
them why.
know? Like
I've done my
it
research
needs.
on
If you do your research, then you would know that it needs to be $9.99. But yeah, like we're responsible for all the bandwidth. You know what I mean? So these people watch the fans watch a tremendous amount of battle rap content, and they watch it over and over and over again. And just the technology costs, just to keep things running, and it's also utilized to fund battles. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that $7.99 covers. And right now we're just in a time where there's a paywall for everything. Everyone has a paywall. If you don't, companies are looking into them. I know you're looking into building a platform for yourself.
That's why I know. That's why I had to make sure I ask.
Right.
And I want people to understand. In battle rap, people do a lot of pocket counting.
Right.
So I want them to understand, because again, when I did my research,
you saw how much it was.
$7.99
It doesn't cover
is not
shit.
going in your pocket.
It definitely is not going in my pocket.
There is a lot of overhead that you have to take that $7. Because
maintenance, updates.
Yes.
You know, bandwidth.
Yes.
You know, and then all the things that come with supplying entertainment for the app. All is budgeted into that money, and of course, to pay ourselves, for the work, and just, it's just general operating costs, maintenance costs. It's just a myriad of different expenses that, running an app entails. And
I'm not gonna say you ain't making money.
I'm not saying that.
You know you're making money, but
it costs a lot, and it's a lot of work. It is a tremendous amount of work, but I think it's the best move that we ever made. The goal was always ownership, and I'm just like it makes us. It feels good to know like we're one of few black hip hop owned companies that actually functions on their own platform. Like we don't need anyone for anything. We do deals with companies like Caffeine, and we love our partnerships with them, and we release content over there, but we own all of our content. Even the stuff that we shoot with Caffeine, it comes back to us and it lives on our app, and we have a great platform that we own, operate, and control. And that was always the goal. So we're just in the first phase of the URLTV app. you know, we're looking forward to really expanding and making it even bigger. I know we've been saying that for a while, but this is a new business that we jumped into. We were the first ones to do it in our field, and we're leading the way. But it always takes time to really get things to the way that they need to be. But I'm really proud of the progress that we've made. I'm proud of the amount of content that we've been able to amass in this short period of time. It's insane. You know what I mean? So it's definitely something I'm proud of. You know what I mean?
I'm proud of you guys. I'm happy for you guys. You know, I've been a fan of battle rap all the way back to, you know, Busy B versus Kumo D. So I've always been a fan of battle rap, and to see it grow and get, you know, to where it is now, you know, largely a part of it is URL. You know what I mean? So to know that you guys, and I always say this, I told Smack this, to see y'all do this shit for free, at some point we gotta make $1, right?
Right. And that was just
what it is,
like,
right?
But one of the things that we do also that people don't realize is we're always out seeking out partnerships and deals, right? We're always trying to make deals. We're always seeking out partnerships. We're always looking for platforms to collaborate with. You know, last year, you know, we had the thing with Netflix that we did with Charlie Clips and Chess at Chris Brown's. We're always looking to infuse battle rap into mainstream culture. And, you know, this is just something that it's a dream. You know what I mean? It's like the real American dream, like something that we just kind of thought of and we built up. And, you know, we're here now, we arrived, and we're pushing forward. And I just really want people to understand the amount of work and energy that it takes to go into doing an app. I mean, right now, we're dropping 3 battles a week, right? That's 12 battles a month. And I know, like, probably one of the questions you're gonna ask me is the release schedule. You know, because people
don't have a release schedule question at all.
You don't have one?
Because my release schedule would be every day drop a battle. That's it. It's the only way. That's the only way
I wish.
That's the only way you can please everybody.
I wish, right?
It's not gonna happen.
So yeah, so we drop them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or either we drop the events all at once. But either way, people are mad. So we're trying to do a combination of the two, and lately we've been dropping release trailers to alert people, you know, of when the battles, you know, come out. You know what I mean? Like this Redemption that we just dropped, it was shot about 3 weeks ago, and we let it out on Monday, so that was pretty quick. You know what I'm saying, in terms of turnaround, but people just really have to understand the difficulty in doing something like that. And I see people, you know, they often criticize us, but, you know, there's always this YouTube comparison.
We'll get the YouTube in them.
All right, we'll get to that.
We're going to get them. I mean, you know, contracts,
right?
App, then YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the big shit.
But the app is, one other thing I want to say about the app. One thing that the app does that people don't realize is when we have certain budgets, if we're doing a project with Caffeine and it doesn't quite, the budget doesn't quite meet what, you know, the talent wants, we can pull money from the app to make certain battles happen. You know what I mean? We've always invested back into the culture. Even before Caffeine, we were doing 20 events a year. You know, that first year of the app, we did Summer Impact, you know what I mean, which had all the biggest names in the culture on one night, on one stage, you know what I mean, and that was due to the URLTV app. That's where the funding for that came from, you know what I mean, so it definitely supplements and adds to a lot of expenses and a lot of big battles that people want to see.
So now the app, like I say, it's great for y'all. You get to make some money. It's great for the culture, you know, so you have one place to go and get this great content. Now the big issue becomes, and these are conversations I have with battle rappers, you know, on the app, you only people that are really dedicated to battle rap has that app. My grandmother doesn't have it. My homie that just came home from jail, he ain't got it. You know, the dude that's up the street, he ain't got it. You know, they're not as invested in battle rap as some, but they love battle rap.
Right.
So you have those people, and then you have your dedicated battle rap fans. At some point, the other fans are losing out now, right? Because they don't have access to the YouTube. So they, you know, you have to have the app to see these battles now. So how do you
balance that out.
Yeah, like how?
It's a tough
You
job.
lose. I look at it like you're losing a lot of fans because of that.
Well, you got to look at it like this. For the past 3 years, the biggest events in the culture have been free.
On caffeine.
Yes.
Don't forget to say that.
Yes, they are. They were on caffeine.
Yes.
They've been free.
Right.
So people have had access to a lot of events. You know what I mean? And we we have exclusive battles on the app that don't premiere on caffeine, that premiere exclusively on the URLTV app. Mm-hmm. And then we have battles that we do with caffeine or in other places that go to the app, right? So we kind of like switch the artists around into different roles. Some guys, that are on the app also do battles on caffeine and vice versa. So, when we were making the deal, that was, one of our strong points is like, okay, we're going to open up this to the world because the entry point in the battle rap is high. It's $55 for a pay-per-view stream or $60 for a pay-per-view stream now,
Right.
And, by making it free, you bring in more people. Now, it's tough to say, okay, you lose fans, it's all about the promotion and what people are seeking out, because if you have people who are out in the world that aren't on the URL or aren't on the app and that are battling, it's been shown that people aren't watching those battles like that. They're not watching those platforms. The numbers are low, and the coverage is low.
That's that platform, right?
Right.
It's URL, and it's no disrespect to any other platform, but URL is the NBA. And then again, I don't want this to sound like I'm disrespecting.
Well, we have 10 years of free content on YouTube.
No, I'm with you. I'm not.
So,
just,
it's difficult, right? Because at a certain point, you got to say, okay, how long am I going to leave the door open?
Right.
And when am I going to make the change? You know what I mean? Because if I don't turn around and build a platform for this to support it, it's not going to last or sustain. The numbers are down, you know what I mean, on YouTube, right? Because of the CPM rates. The current CPM rates are low based on cursing and profanity and stuff like that. They want to censor a lot of the content. Mm-hmm. We don't want the art form to be censored. So we put it on the app so it can remain in its purest form. We want to be able to monetize that content at the highest value. And we can't do that on a platform like YouTube. Now, YouTube's a great platform and it was instrumental in building us, but currently, it doesn't support what we need to do.
But what the app does, again,
right.
It's all devil's advocate, and
okay.
it's all shit that I've talked to about people offline, right? So what happens is now the culture, the battles are getting boxed in.
They're not boxed in.
They not, but they are. Because I'm going to say this
Let me tell you this.
Caffeine, right, there's no replay, right? Yes, we got it for free. We can watch it on caffeine, right? But after that, it's gone.
But, they're not boxed in. When you watch movies on Netflix, when you watch a new season of You, when you watch Snowfall, they live on apps, right? And if you want to see that material, you get a hold of that app and you watch it.
Yes.
With us, everyone's like, oh, this is warehoused. This is stuck. This is not off. That's nobody's asking Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, hey, it's the 3rd season. Yo, you might as well let that Luke Cage out on YouTube. No, you go to Netflix and you watch it. And we've seen a lot of outrage and a lot of people asking for certain things to be released. And, like I said, Easy's the hot topic. Again, I'm not dissing him, but I just want him to look at things through a different lens and a different perspective. And even a lot of the fans that follow him, there's been no outrage or anyone asking, hey, his Fresh Prince episodes, you know what I'm saying? There's Bel Air, it's on Peacock, which is an app. No one's asking for them to release his episodes onto YouTube. Why is it that we respect the apps that emerge out of corporate America, but don't respect the app that emerges out of the culture that we love, that's been built organically and still owned and operated by the people who have created the majority of the content in this culture? Why is it that we're demonized for having a business, but everybody else can have as much content as they want, right? They can shoot stuff, hold it. There's content that you've seen on these apps on Netflix, Amazon, all the aforementioned platforms that I've said, that lives on there for years, seasons and seasons of stuff. And no one's saying, hey, it's been enough time. You need to go ahead and release that content. But we're expected to do so. People have to really sit down and look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what, I love battle rap. I know the majority of battle rap that I like is on URL. I want to see it. It's only $7.99. I want access to it. And this is no knock on anyone. I know everyone has struggles. I know everybody, works and, they have families and things like that. But people pay for apps. They pay for the things that they want to see. If you're complaining and you can't afford some of these things, you probably shouldn't be watching TV, period. Not even battle rap. You need to put yourself in a better position.
Yeah, because those are all individual. Peacock, Hulu. I don't know.
Right. This is the world is a la carte right now.
Yeah.
Everything's an app. So if somebody gets, if you're gonna play basketball, if you have a kid that plays basketball in college and there's like some ESPN Plus app, right? And you're a relative of that kid, right? You're going to buy that app to see your kid play basketball. You're going to spend that $10 to watch him play. So when people come and, oh, yeah, URL $7.99, you guys are greedy. You just want to make money off of, these are the types of things that we get. But people are willing to pay for all of these other apps and don't say that the content is warehoused. They just automatically, respect it, and they don't have any complaints about it living on those apps.
Yo, I thought I had you on that one. I was like, clearly that concept of
Right.
you're boxing in the culture and people can't get in unless they have the app. That's still in my head, right? But I also still understand, like,
There's
you're
apps
right.
for everything. Do you know how many apps ESPN has? They have tons of apps.
For each individual.
Do you know what the Zone is? It's an app that has all types of sports. There's so many apps. There's apps for everything. There's apps for college wrestling. There's apps for horse racing. There's apps for CrossFit and Olympics. And you know what I mean? There's so many different apps available out here where people can tune in for what they want. And people have to respect that the app for battle rap, the only one that exists, well, there are others, but the main one that exists is the URLTV app. Shout to iBattle, support their app as well.
Shout out to iBattle.
You know what I mean? But this is something that we built, and people have to learn to respect it. There are free battles. There's tons of battles that come on YouTube, right? So people should look at it like, okay, those are the battles for free, right? And the battles that we really want to see, whether people admit, right, the premium battles, right? Because if they weren't premium battles, people wouldn't have this much angst. There wouldn't be this much haste if it wasn't stuff that they didn't want to see. People will get on here, and I'm sure in the comments, well, I don't watch the URL anyway, but they're watching this interview.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to be real with yourself. And I understand it's a little bit different when you're used to, receiving some content for free, whether it's just live or whatever the case may be. But, on the flip side of that is that, we have to keep control of something that we built, right? We have to respect the business of the people that come from the culture. We can't just respect the apps that exist from corporate America and show them a certain level of respect and don't question them and ask them for discounts or, well, do you get this if you get that? Or can we get the content after 3-4 months? No one asks any of those platforms to do that.
Right.
So why are we supposed to do it?
Really makes sense.
I try,
It makes sense,
I
brother.
try.
And again, man, I was all gung-ho, ready to I'm gonna get
Like,
'em
people
for
are
this.
working out plans, like, people don't mean harm, but I just don't think they're looking at it through the same lens. Like, I'll get, guys will write me, what you could do is you could release it on the app, and then after a certain amount of time, you could bring that over here. But what about the people who are paying for the app? I don't want to pay for the app and then know, like, a few weeks later, everything that I paid for is just out in the world and I could have just waited. It's like, yo, what's the purpose in having this if there's no exclusive content for me to watch?
So let me go here now. I'm gonna get you at some point, I think. Or maybe I won't. So, the app. I got you. Netflix, Hulu, all of that. What do you say about the artists that are so you have your URL, Smack, all the other era, the Rexes and Mooks and DNAs and Charlie Clipses and all of them that have these YouTube presence.
Correct.
And they're very popular because of that. Now with the app, it kind of again go back to the boxing in the popularity of the artists because there are no YouTube drops, right? So the people on the app are one people, and like I always say, then you have your other people.
Mm-hmm.
So now the newer guys that are coming out and they're on the app, they're not getting the notoriety and the popularity, if not quicker, as much because they're not on YouTube. So
I kind of disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree with that. I think that, as I said before, right, if you name the guys that are on the app, and this is not any one particular guy, again, I'm not speaking to ability. I'm speaking to profile, right? If you say, just name a bunch of people, new guys, Fonz, Lou Castro, Easy to Block Captain. Of course, he's a little bit ahead of everybody else just based on, the things that transpired and his work ethic. But, you have Fonz, Real Sick, Easy to Block Captain, Lou Castro. You got, there's a bunch of guys, right? I don't know, there's a bunch of new guys, right? Well, if you name all of those people and then you go back to YouTube, there's nobody that rivals those names in profile. So while YouTube is open for the world to see, and there's other platforms that are putting on battles, there's nobody that rivals those guys, right? And I'm just talking about in profile. Now, some guys are bigger than others. Some guys have bigger names than others, right? But there's nobody that has emerged in the last 3 years that matches those guys' profiles. You can't think of anyone. You can't name anyone. So YouTube is open for the world to utilize. And if you look at the battles overall, the battles are down. Everything is down on YouTube.
I've noticed that, period. Even with my channel, I really don't do
the numbers that you did.
That I used to do on certain content. You're like, yeah, that should have did a lot more, but it really doesn't.
Right.
So,
because of profanity and because of the changes and the censorship of YouTube.
Yes.
It's changed.
Yes.
The algorithm for battle rap has changed, and that type of content isn't promoted as much. Now there's a lot of content that's way cleaner and easier for them to promote, and they can get higher CPMs on that content because it's clean and it's going to get more viewership and it's available to more people. People have to understand and remember, battle rap is popular, but it's a niche type of art form.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, it just doesn't get the same numbers. The vehicle is not the same. It's not what it was in 2012, 2014, 15. At that time, things were more active. There was higher viewership. There's a lot of different variables that come into play that made it more popular then.
Right.
But to answer your question, I name those guys, and there's more, you know what I mean? But I name those guys because I'm saying these are guys that are being built. There's people that are battling outside of URL and that are battling on YouTube, and nobody's watching the battles. No one's covering the battles. Even on your channel, you're not covering those guys that are battling on YouTube. You're covering the guys that are on the app. Those are the guys that you're following. Those are the guys that you're doing the interviews on. And if I went through your channel, or anyone that's watching goes through your channel, Uncle Ra, we will find that you're covering the aforementioned MCs that I spoke about.
Yeah, because again, y'all do the most events. So most likely.
Right, they're the most events, which makes them popular. Though. You cover everybody, but there's not right. Too, but those guys' interviews are not going up at the rate that the interviews of the guys that I mentioned are. Those guys are not as popular. The viewership on those battles is low. And if YouTube is open and for everybody to watch, no one is watching it. I spoke about platinum battles, right? There's been 8, in the last 3 years.
Last 3 years.
8. And those and you want to know
Yeah, you did mention
like
that.
if you have 8 battles, they all have one common denominator. The majority of them feature megastars within the culture. YouTube megastars.
Right.
3 of them are from Hitman Holla. Right? And then I think Murder Mook, who's a legend, Loaded Lux, who's a legend, Charlie Clips, who's another megastar. He's
They call him a legend.
He's a legend too.
Okay,
Everybody's a legend. But I'm just saying, I'm differentiating, right? I'm just saying. So you have Hitman, Charlie Clips, who are both URL veterans, right? And they're also on a hit TV show, right? Then you have Lux, you have Mook, you have Daylight, and you have Hollow and Shine. That makes 8 battles. What's crazy is, without trying, 4 of those are URL battles. Since we left the space, the other 2 are devised between 2 other companies. So even when we're not trying to be in the forefront, we still are, right? But I say that to say, for all of those battles, they didn't perform at the level that they were supposed to. The URL ones included.
Because of where we're
Just
at.
because of the changes and where we're at. I tell you what, would you say that Hitman Holla's one of the biggest stars in the culture?
Yes.
In terms of viewership as well, right?
Yes.
Hitman Holla has a great league called Bags and Bodies.
Yes.
Where does that content live?
On the app.
There you go. With a paywall, as it should, and we should support it. But this is further proof of what I'm saying. The biggest, arguably the biggest stars on YouTube puts his own content on an app and doesn't try to monetize it in the place where he has his most reactions, the place where people watch him the most.
That's kind of deep. None of the Bags and Bodies is on
No,
YouTube?
they were on for a split second and then right over to the app. Because there's better places for creators to monetize. And fans have to understand that. So just like you're forced to buy Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, and the aforementioned apps, you have to go and purchase the battle rap apps and show support to the culture that you claim you love.
Are you finding it harder for you to create the superstars at the pace that you guys were used to that happening? Because you
got to remember, a lot of those superstars took a long time to become superstars. A lot of them were superstars because they're pioneers and they were the first guys that people look at. Murder Mook, Loaded Lux, T-Rex. Those guys, and then the first class of URL, we've been around, 12, 13 years now.
Right.
So it's going to take time. And remember, we were doing battles at a slower pace. So it was a little bit more dramatic when they happened. There were a lot of different variables that would make them like megastars. But people, look, man, you got guys like T-Top, people like that. I've been out with these people. Like, people know who they are. People know. Sometimes you go to restaurants after battles and we go eat, and people walk up to everybody, Loso, hey, you know what I'm saying? Oh, go John. Everybody, they know who these people are. So, I mean, even if they're on the app, somehow it just gets out in the world. People know what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't ever look at what we're doing as warehousing artists. I think we're building a secure platform so that just in case corporate America decides that we don't want anything to do with battle rap and we don't want it on YouTube anymore, and we don't have to worry and scramble at the last minute.
Not mad at that. Like I say, I try to create a debate, but I agree with a lot of the things that y'all do. Like, I understand.
I'm not saying that YouTube is not a good place, and I'm not getting at anybody for using YouTube. We still use YouTube. I put a battle out today on YouTube. 1 round of Charlie Clips versus Danny Myers to promote the app and to promote the upcoming event that we have this weekend. I dropped the battle.
Did you
I
say
put it out.
1 round?
Yeah, 1 round.
Why 1 round?
Because they can catch the rest of the battle on the app. Listen, man, content is hard to come by. And, this is a business, man. You know what I'm saying? I understand the street.
Because the rest of it on the app.
You get the rest of it on the app with the biggest library in the world. There's so many battles on there that people forgot. We have a new version of the app that's about to drop with a different layout where you'll be able to see like all these archival battles that you don't even remember to search for. There's so many battles in there that people have not seen if you don't have the app. Some really good battles with like prominent names like Ichigati, Chess,
What is the
John.
total amount on that now?
I think when I last looked, it's like 586 battles on there.
Okay.
Remember, we did 50 battles alone. I mean, close to 40 or 50 events during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people, I see like a lot of like this anti-URL anger going on. Like,
I'm going to help you out.
I like, if right now, somebody puts up, yo, man, I remember when one time they went to 7-Eleven, man, and they didn't bring me back a Big Goat, man. And they take it and put it up. URL leaves this guy out when they go to 7-Eleven. And I get it. It's fun. It's fun, right? Because this isn't a crying blog. This isn't a complaint blog. Don't worry. I'm not having a sensitivity fit. I'm just trying to let people know.
You went a long time without taking shots.
I'm not having a sensitivity fit. But what I'm saying is, I get it, right? And as I said, like I'll be Eric McMahon. Like we take the shots. We know what it is. We get it. It's like a love-hate thing. It's like sometimes we're like the villain. It's wrestling, right? Like they love the platform, but it's fun. And there's actually a business in attacking URL. If you look at a lot of the key blogs, their highest views come from blogs that go against the ultimate rap league. Whether they want to admit it or not, those are the ones that garner the most interest, And we understand that, and it's cool, right? Because it makes it's annoying, but it also it's what makes us big in a sense, right? Because we're always being talked about. We're always being attacked. We always did something. But no one ever really clearly says what we did. Yo, man, they did something, man. And then they do a blog, they go online, and you know what I mean? Or they go into spaces and they say something, but they really don't say anything. They don't have a clear story like, I was supposed to do this on this date, this didn't happen, and this money didn't come. They never say that. Right. It's just, yo, they did something, man. And then you see a couple of weeks later, the guy who's complaining, he's battling. We don't come out and refute every claim. We can't. We're too busy. We're moving around.
Sometimes people jump the gun and...
Right. Like right now, they don't know. It's wild late right now. Yeah. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? What time is it?
2 o'clock on the dot.
It's like 2 o'clock. Come on, man. I'm in tune, Unc. I got sonar, baby. I'm not even going to sleep. I'm going home. I'm packing a bag. I got to fly to a funeral in D.C. for my uncle. Like his wife passed away. Right? So I land there, boom, bop, go to lunch with my sister, jump on a flight, Atlanta, get down on the ground over there, hit up the venue, start talking to people, get the face-offs ready for Saturday, Sundays, the show, back Monday, releasing a whole new card for the next event. Gonna be crazy. Got all the new gunners on there, Flair, Soul, Foots, Hansel, Ease, Klutz. These guys are fire. Fire. We just finished the new season of The Crucible. We got a whole bunch of new dudes that nobody ever heard of that's fire from different regions of the country. So this is why we're so protective of our investments, because we have them on a certain trajectory and we want them to be successful and we don't want them to be derailed by anything. Right. You know what I mean? So we build them up and we want to see them grow. We want to see them flourish. You know what I mean? And we're not out here doing 360 deals and if you get a record deal, I get this. If you go on TV, I get that. We don't dig in anybody's pocket. We don't ask people for pocket. If they step outside to do a battle, we don't ask them for any money. Right. You know what I mean? What we just ask for is the exclusivity so that we can build you in the way that we know you need to be built. We can give you the right presentation. so that you can grow and have the opportunity.
Two things I want to talk about.
I'm listening.
YouTube.
Okay, I'm listening.
One of the biggest things that I have.
Kings versus Queens 4, Sunday, March the 19th. Get the VOD. If this comes out after Kings versus Queens, get the VOD on Caffeine. Get the live stream on Caffeine.
We'll see. I think most of it will be out.
Okay.
Another big thing with the YouTube, I wanted to really like separate the YouTube, but it's hard to separate the YouTube when you talk about the app. But this thing I wanted to talk to you about. People that don't have the app, and you don't have the app, you can't watch any of the URL battles if you didn't see it on Caffeine when it was live. Let's say Easy. Easy's a big topic, right? Let's say Easy the Block Captain versus Chess. How long ago was that battle?
2 years.
2 years, right?
Right.
Now, do you think you're cheating the guys that or gals that have the app if you drop a battle from 2 years ago on the YouTube just so these guys can get the exposure that they want, or they can actually...
How long have you been in battle rap?
12, 13 years.
Do you know the psyche of the people in battle rap?
Yes.
Okay, for the people that don't have the app, they'll be ecstatic, right?
Right.
They'll either be ecstatic or they'll go, we saw this already. You need to put that other battle out, Charlie Clips and Danny Myers or whatever. They'll say that, right? It'll be that. And then the people who have the app will be like, this is bullshit, man. Why did you release it? I had it on the app. They should be, people are cheap. They should buy the app. You won't make anybody happy. There's no way that anyone can be happy. People have seen the battle. They know that battle. When we do those streams on Caffeine, we get a very, very good viewership. Sometimes, as much as 2 million people tune in.
Right.
So people see it.
Just can't see it again.
They can see it again on the app. And it's not even the full cost of a pay-per-view. It's $7.99.
Right.
And then you have all these battles and all this content to sift through.
Technically, I think is that less than $100 a year?
Yes.
Yeah.
On a pay-per-view right now, we were charging $55. So I'm sure today, costs have gone up, with expenses and everything. So I think the new set mark price is $65 for pay-per-view, right?
Yeah. Well,
So,
I don't know what the set price is.
Well, not the set price, but I guess to put on a big event, people are charging $65, which isn't insane. Because I know the cost of an event. So when we were doing the pay-per-view game, we were $55. So it's been about 3-4 years. So I could see things being $60 or $65 now. You know what I mean?
So no YouTube. Like I know you drop.
You are addicted to this YouTube, man.
I'm not addicted to it. Not addicted. I'm just trying to touch the points that I have these conversations with people all the time. I'm around this culture now, whether it's fans or battle rappers.
I think it's about just people getting it after a while and just accepting it. Like, you know what? I love this shit. I'm gonna spend the $7.99. And I'm going to be able to see everything that I haven't seen, battles from months ago, shit that's coming new. I'm going to have it. I'm going to get it. This is what I like. I like battle rap. This is where it's at. This is the Hulu, the Amazon, the Netflix of battle rap. I want this shit.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, at a certain point, it's just like, yo, we have to advance. We have to make a move. Like, I don't want to be at the mercy of a corporate giant like YouTube. I
told you, I agree with you.
I can't just be stuck. It's and it's going to be an ongoing debate, but it's just a debate with us. No one's saying, that Snowfall, we got to get it on YouTube.
15 minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go.